Welcome to another class here online at THPRD's YouTube channel. My name is Jeanette. I am a fitness instructor for THPRD. And for today's class, we will be doing a chair class, no equipment necessary, and perhaps a glass of water or a bottle of water nearby for hydration. That's all we'll need for today, and let's go ahead and begin. So first, I just want you to relax in your chair for a moment, all right? And we're going to focus on breathing. I'd like you to place one hand above your heart and one hand above your diaphragm. And go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. And I just want you to take a nice deep breath in over the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhale slowly. And exhale. And continue inhaling and exhaling. And I'm going to give you some additional things to think about. While you inhale, I want you to think about filling your lungs from the bottom up, like a pitcher of water, a pitcher of milk. And as you exhale, exhale from the top down, just like you're emptying that pitcher. Feel your chest cavity expand, and then feel it contract as you exhale. And let's do 2 additional deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. And one last time with me now. Inhale and exhale. Now go ahead and place your hands on your lap and you can open your eyes. So in today's class, what I'd like you to do is start by pulling yourself away from the back of the chair. So we want to be sitting on our own strength, sitting up nice and tall. At any time during class, should you need a little break, should you need to relax, it's okay to take that little break, but then try to join in again. All right, let's start by setting up from the ground up. So our heels are located underneath the knees. Then we work back from the knees. Our shoulders should be above the hips and our ears above the shoulders. Let's do a little shoulder roll together. Up, back, and down. All right. So let's go ahead and shrug the shoulders. Let's lift up and relax and let those shoulders drop down. Again, lift up, shrug, and let's tighten up. Tighten up those shoulders, maybe even make a fist with your hands. And as we relax, lengthen the fingers and reach to the ground. Again, shrug and tighten and release and lengthen. And one more time, shrug and tighten and release and lengthen. Now let's just do some shoulder rolls. Let's start by lifting up in the front, rolling up, back, and down. We'll do 4 of these nice, big, generous circles through the shoulder sockets. And use your breath. Inhale as we lift the shoulders up. Exhale as they go down. Now let's reverse the circles. Inhale up. Exhale down to the front. Using our breath through the movements. And one last time. Inhale and exhale. Now let's draw a rainbow. So we're going to lift up and lower to the back. Lift up and lower to the front. And start to work even down towards the hands. Notice as I drop my shoulders back, my palms are forward. As I drop my shoulders forward, my palms face the back. We are externally rotating the shoulders and internally rotating the shoulders. And we're going to do a few more. And I'm going to turn a little to the side because I want you to see my upper back. So we're trying to start moving the upper back a little bit. Rounding forward and then lifting the chest, pulling those shoulder blades back. Let's do one more. Excellent. Just sort of relax and release those arms. Let's take a moment to address the neck, shall we? So, in our nice tall position on the chair, what we want is to lengthen that cervical spine, okay? And we're going to start by just nodding our heads. So drop your chin forward and lift your chin to the ceiling. And we'll do this 4 times. Lower, and feel that stretch along the back of the neck. And then just lift up to a place that feels comfortable for you. You don't want to create any strain, but we do want to make note. Where are the hitches in the giddy up? Where are you feeling tense? Where do you feel issues? Let's bring our head back to center, and now let's just turn our gaze side to side. So sitting up nice and tall, turn to look over one shoulder, bring your gaze to center, and turn to look over the other shoulder. And again, notice, are there any areas where you notice one side more than the other? Although we're striving to be symmetrical, we're not necessarily that by default. We have to make sure that we try to work both sides equally, but we might have inherent imbalances. And the way we sleep, just the way we carry ourselves, you might feel little twinges through the neck. All right, go ahead and face forward. Now again, sitting up nice and tall, now we're going to lift one ear towards the ceiling and bring our head to center and lift the other ear. And let's just do a little side to side. We'll do 2 more each side. Feel that gentle lengthening. And then 1 more. All right, so now we're going to do some different movements. Sitting up tall, try pushing your chin forward and then pulling your chin back. So we're just going to move forward and back. And 1 more time. I know pulling the chin back is so attractive, yes? That double chin look. Go ahead and bring everything to center. And we're going to do that same idea, but we're going to shift our head to one side, kind of like you're trying to hear something. And then the other side. Side to side. And 1 more time each direction. All right, this last one, it's to just kind of relax and release any tension that you may have developed while we were doing that, although we're trying to release tension doing that too. Go ahead and gently do a little half circle. Drop the head and back up again. And it's a half circle to the front, not a full circle. And you can feel that stretch down into the shoulder. We'll do 1 more time each way. Excellent. So now seated nice and tall. Let's go ahead and do that shoulder shrug again. This time I want you to tighten up your fists. We're going to tighten up the arms. We're going to relax the arms and lengthen the fingers, reaching to the floor. Then start to pull those arms back. Feel the shoulder blades tuck along the spine. Open up the chest. And reach overhead, relaxing through the shoulders, pulling up from the pelvis, and do a little reach side to side. Lengthen that arm, nice and straight. Fingertip down to the hip, and other side. Lengthen, lengthen, stretching through the rib cage, through the side extensors. Both arms up, turning the palms out to the sides. Open up the chest, pull the elbows down and back, and press those fingers to the floor. Now hands by your chair, go ahead and grip your chair, pressing down into the chair. This is another way of creating that tension through the arms to the shoulders. Squeeze. And then we relax and release, reaching down to the floor, lengthening those fingertips, opening up the arms, pulling back to feel that stretch through the chest. Feel the mobility work of the shoulders at the top. Relax the shoulders, pulling upwards from the pelvis. And again, side to side, lengthening through the side extensors and the rib cage again. Feel that rib cage kind of expand in between each and every rib. Both arms up, turning the palms out, bend at the elbows, open up the chest, and then push the fingers to the floor. One more time, grip your chair, press down, squeeze, and release. Reach down, pull the arms back, open up the chest, and then relax through the shoulders, pulling up from the pelvis, creating slack on one side, reaching up, 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 and then switch, reach up, 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 nice and slow, straighten those joints. Both arms up, turning the palms out, open up the chest, and press the fingers to the floor. All right, so now in our seated position, let's start to work our way down the spine. So we got the neck area, we got some shoulder work, and the upper back. So sitting up nice and tall, let's start by tucking the tailbone, trying to access that low back and round the shoulders additionally. So now we feel this lovely stretch down the length of the back, from the nape of the neck down to the tailbone. Sitting up tall, press your chest forward, pull your shoulder blades together, and lift your chin just ever so gently, looking up towards the ceiling. And again, tuck the tailbone round the shoulders. Here it's okay to look down towards your lap, and then sit up tall, pulling those shoulders back, pressing the chest forward. Again, round and tuck, and sit up tall and press forward. And then just come to a more neutral position in your seated position. So neither tucked and rounded nor pressing forward. All right, let's start to work our way down the legs. So let's start by lifting our heels. So go ahead and lift those heels up and release. And lift just the toes on the floor and release. And we're engaging with those calves. Give them a good squeeze and release. We'll do one more at this tempo. Squeeze and release. Let's pick up the tempo a little faster. 8, 7, 6. Little squeezes every time. 4, 3, 2, and now go ahead and put the heels down. Same idea, but let's lift the balls of the feet. So lift up, engaging with the shins, and release. Again, lift, squeeze, and release. 2 more. We'll do slow. We feel that engagement. Last one. And now we want to increase the tempo, so go a little faster. 8, 7. Little exhale every time you squeeze. 4, 2, and 1. Now let's alternate calf and shin. So lift, place the heels down, and lift. We'll do one more time each way slowly. Squeeze and squeeze. Pick up the tempo. 4 and 3 and 2. Excellent. All right. So now let's bring our feet together and our knees together. Let's try opening the heels and coming back in. When we open the heels, we'll add a side arm raise and release. Let's go a little faster. 8, 7, lifting through the chest. 4, 3, 2, feel the tops of the shoulders working, and release. All right, now let's open the toes and come back. As we do that, the arms are going to open up as well, and we bring them in as we bring the toes in. Let's do that a little faster. 8, 7, feel the shoulder blades tuck back, feel your chest open. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we'll do some alternating. So we're going to do a side raise, open up the heels, we're going to open up the toes, and then open up the arms. All right, so begin. Out and open. Out, open. Using our brain with our body to get these bigger motor movements working together. Last one. Excellent. All right, so now working our way back up the body, let's address some hands and fingers. All right, so what I'd like you to do is start with your elbows by your rib cage, and I want you to make a fist with your hands. Let's open our hands once and then open twice. So it's a fist, open, open. Again, fist, open, open, fist, open, open. Let's do 2 more in this position, and then we're going to take our arms out to our sides, relax through the shoulders, lengthen the arms, and squeeze, open, open. Squeeze, open, open. And as you feel that squeeze of your fist, feel the tension travel up the length of the arm. You might even feel it in your shoulders and your upper back and your chest. One more time, squeeze, open, open. Let's keep those fingers nice and long and press down with the lengthened fingers as though you are playing piano badly. I know my piano teacher never wanted me to play with long fingers. Now, can you make those fingers work faster? And here we're going to kind of get our cardio system going, our vascular system. We're going to bring the arms forward and up. So now what we're doing is drawing things out to our peripherals. We're trying to draw our circulation out to our fingertips. And we're going to hold those fingers out. Now curve the fingers like you're trying to pull something in towards you. This is that I'm pulling in a very heavy blanket. I'm pulling in a heavy towel, whatever it is. And now start to move faster. And this is where, you're scratching your puppy or your kitty on the neck. All right, we're going to bring the arms forward and up. And at any time, if you need a break with your arms, feel free to take it. Give them a little rest and join in when you can. Hold those arms out, and now we can all relax together. Just go ahead and work out some kinks, shake out those hands. So your arms are 5 to 8 pounds a piece, depending on your build. So holding the arms away from the body is body weight. You are working with weight. Let's go ahead and open those arms up again. Whew. Now flex the palms of the hands. Try to make sure your fingers are as straight as possible. Often we have tight tendons and ligaments and it causes a little bit of a curvature on the fingers. We want to try to straighten those fingers as much as possible. Point the fingers up and point the fingers down. And to this, we can add a little pressure, pushing down around our armpit. Imagine a rubber ball in your armpit and you're trying to squeeze it. You create the tension and you'll get out of it what you put into it. So try to do the most you can do today at this moment. And it might change day to day, that's okay. 4, 3, 2, last one. Fingers up. Now, let's try opening the chest, pressing back. 8, 7, squeezing those shoulder blades towards the spine, working a little bit on opening up the chest. 2 more. And go ahead and shake it out, because that's a long time to hold those arms out there. We have 2 more activities we're going to do. We're not quite done yet. So we have the fingers up, palms up. Turn the fingers to the front, but the palms are still out. Try to lift up. Lift. We're not shrugging the shoulders. Keep those shoulders relaxed. This is not super comfortable, but it shouldn't hurt. You have to make that decision and then press back. So we're also working a little shoulder mobility here. 4, 3, 2, and relax, release, shake it all out. Let's just circle out through the wrists and then go the other direction. Woo, so that was a lot of work for the arms. Let's go ahead. Now you have permission to actually sit back against the back of the chair. Normally in class, I want you pulled away from the back. For this one, I want you to go ahead and allow yourself to sit against the back. And I want you to have your thigh as supported as you have ability to with the length of your seat on your chair. Because our focus is now going to be on the leg. It's going to be lifted. And we're just going to relax the foot to start. I want you to do some circles of the ankles and go the other way. And then just let the foot hang. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. What we want to do is point the foot, try to lengthen the shin, and then we're going to try pointing the toes. So make it 2 separate movements. Release the toes and then press the heel out. Pushing through the heel, you should feel the back of the leg lengthen. All right, do that again. Point the foot and then point the toes. Release the toes and press the heel out. Now go ahead and relax the tension from doing that. And then now let's work the inversion. So tucking the heel in, tucking that ankle in, and eversion, tucking the ankle out. And again, tucking in and tucking out, and we'll do one more. All right, we're just trying to show our ankles a little bit of love. And then go ahead and relax and release, and let's do the other side. We're going to extend that leg out, circle the ankle. Do 2 or 3 circles one direction, and then go the other direction. And then come to the center and let the foot hang. Try to point the foot and then point the toes. Release the toes first and push through the heel. Again, point the foot and then point the toes. Lift the toes and push through the heel. Now relax the tension from those stretches, and now let's tuck in. Invert the ankle and tuck out. Evert. In and out. We'll do one more. In and out. Now let's go back to that other leg, okay? So with your foot on the floor, and you might have to adjust your exact positioning of that leg. Now I have pulled away from the back of the chair. Go ahead and lift that foot up as high as you can, and I'm going to turn to the side. And what we want to do is work through the mobility of the foot. So pressing into the toes, working the heel to the floor, and then pushing the heel into the ground before we release the tension. And when we do that, we create tension all the way up the length of the leg. So again, up on your toes, push those toes down, driving into the floor, kind of rolling down the length of the foot, push the heel into the floor, and then release and relax the tension one more time. Start lifted and roll, pressing that heel down and release. All right, go ahead and take your foot out a little further away from you so it's at a more comfortable position. And what I want you to do is get the toes working and articulating separately from the foot. So lift your toes and lower down, and let's just do some quick taps. Tap the toes. All right? The toes are so crucial for our ability to get around and our balance, walking, climbing stairs. All right, go ahead and put those toes down. Now we're going to use our toes like we're trying to pick up a pencil, or we're trying to draw that blanket in. Start to articulate all those joints in the toes. By far, our hands and our feet are the areas of our body that have the most joints. And so we want to try to work them and include them in every workout. Go ahead and relax and release tension on that leg. Let's switch legs. So again, you'll want to adjust your positioning so you can do this comfortably at a comfortable angle, but we want to lift that heel up as much as we can and then drive down, 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 rolling down the foot, heel pressing into the floor, and then we release the tension in the leg. And again, lift up, start by driving that foot down, 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 pressing the heel into the floor, and then releasing tension one more time. Lifting up, articulating the foot, rolling down, pressing the heel into the floor, and then releasing. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and sit away from the chair back, sit up nice and tall. So now we've done some warming up for the shoulders, for the spine, for the legs. We've articulated our fingers and our toes. Let's do some rotation for the spine now. So what I'd like you to do is place your hands, one on each shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. And from the waist, we're going to turn as though looking over one shoulder. And then we'll also turn our neck additionally, but for the most part, try to make it happen from the waist and then face the front. And let's do the other direction. Turn as though you're looking over your shoulder and back to front. And now let's just do side to side a little bit faster. That was nice and slow. So we're going to do side, center, side, center. Take a deep breath in, and as we turn, exhale, come back to center. Inhale. As we turn, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good, let's go ahead and face center. So now what I'd actually like us to do is take one hand across the front of the body, lifting through the chest, place the other hand behind you on your chair, and use your arms as additional leverage to assist with your twist. Feel your rib cage twisting around that center pole of the spine, and then face forward. And let's cross the other direction. To the outside of the thigh goes the hand, and then we twist to look over our shoulder and come back to center. Sitting up nice and tall, let's let our arms hang. Let's get some side to side movement going with our spine. So keeping our chest lifted, we don't want to let the shoulders round. I want you to imagine you just dropped your pencil and you've got to reach down to pick it back up. And we're just going to do a little side reach, side to side, getting the side flexion and extension of the spine. And you'll notice how I lift that opposite elbow. For me, I feel like it helps me access a little deeper bend. But do you, right? This is all about you and what feels good to you. So only take it to where it feels good to you. It's important that we not create strain while we're doing these activities. But it is a fine line sometimes. Sometimes it's a stretch and it may not feel super good, but it shouldn't hurt. Go ahead and release. We're coming back to center. All right, let's open up our feet. We're going to open the heels and open the toes, and then bring our toes together and bring the heels together. Let's open 1, 2, and come back. 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. I found myself talking in that rhythm. 2 and 2, 1. Good. Now let's try opening a little wider. So we're going to open once and then do a second. Heel, toe. Come back. 4, 3, 2, and again. 4, 3, 2, open. 4, 3, 2, together. 2 more times. Open and together. One last one. 4, 3, 2, and together. Okay, let's try to go even wider. We're going to try and go to the extent of our width that is available to us. So open once, open twice. Can you open 3 times? Now, in our third time, you may start to feel a little inner thigh stretch. Take a moment to acknowledge it. Try to work out some of the kinks. Try to relax your muscles. Come just inside the point where you feel that stretch, okay? Try to relax into this a little, and let's try to release some of the hips a bit. So I just want you to try lifting one cheek off your chair and then the other cheek, and just sort of working a little side to side, releasing some of the tension that might be here. And we'll do one more little release each side. And then while our legs are open, let's try to open again to the point where you start to feel that stretch. So I teach classes where a lot of people have tight hips, and we're trying to relax and release the tightness. So feel free to use your hands to sort of manipulate and massage the muscles. We're trying to relax into this. So often when we are stretching, we tighten up, right? You'll feel that initial tightening, and so we want to mentally get our mind into our muscles here, relax the muscles, release the tension. All right, now bring your feet back in just inside the point of tension. So there's absolutely zero tension right now. We're going to employ a technique called PNF, proprioceptor neuromuscular facilitation. We're going to tighten the muscles so that when we relax them, we can go a little deeper into the stretch, okay? So take your forearms against the inside of those thighs. Make sure you're in the long bone of the femur, okay? We're going to press outward while pressing inward. Together with me, press. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax, and now release the tension that we may have just created and try to open up those legs again. See if it helped you out. Did it help you out at all? Opening a little wider. Try to release whatever tension you have there. And again, you can kind of lift one hip and then lift the other. Just sort of move through what your tension is that you're feeling, wherever you feel it. Try to address it, move around it. Come just back inside the point of tension. So again, we're no longer feeling any tension. We closed our knees a bit. We're going to do that PNF one more time, pressing out while pressing in. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Release the arms, because that's a lot of tension in the arms. Release the legs, and then see if you can open up and release the tension in the hips. Take your time, just sort of relax and release into it. And then heel toe back in, bringing the feet back to a comfortable position. Actually, let us open up now just outside of the hips. So you can see, if you were looking in a mirror, your hips would be just inside your knees, all right? Now, keeping our arms long, we're actually going to have to tip a little bit at the hip. So, we keep our chest lifted, but we're going to hinge forward just a little bit. And what I want you to do is press against the inside of one leg, squeezing. And what we're trying to do is tighten up through our core muscles, all right? Those abdominals, the muscles around. If you think about our body, our spine, like the core of an apple, we're trying to tighten up all of our core muscles. So press into one side, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and release. Other side, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and release. And again, side to side. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Switch, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do 4 more. Press and squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and release. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. One more time each side. 3, 2, 1, and release. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Now just take a moment to relax and release tension where you feel it. Let's take a moment to help with that by tucking the tailbone and rounding the spine, and then pressing forward, trying to release tension you may have created. Maybe into the back side a bit. All right, so we release that tension. And now let us go ahead and work spinal extensions. So pulling away from your seat back as far as is reasonable for you to do so. I don't want you to pull so far forward that you fall off the front of your chair, but just short of that. Sitting up nice and tall. Now, to create a little counterweight, you may choose to extend the legs out in front of you. We can cross our hands over our chest, and we're going to think about lifting the chest up so that we have a nice straight back. As we lean back, imagine almost touching the chair, go as far as you can, and then come back up. Now, if you have a low chair back, you might be able to go back quite a bit, like the chair I'm on. But if you have a taller backed chair, you may not be going back as far, and that's okay. It's not about how far back you go. And in fact, I would listen to your body. Even if you're capable of going further back, I would stop when your body is telling you to stop. We want to be in tune with our body. Part of what we're trying to build here is that mind-body connection, mind-body awareness. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? How are you accessing that feeling? All right, sitting up nice and tall, go ahead and release. So our next sequence is going to be a sit to stand sequence. And although it's called sit to stand, I would actually like us to start standing. And of course, we have some options. So if you don't feel like standing all the way up works for you, you are always welcome to place your weight in your heels and maybe even just lift the bum a little bit off the chair and then feather light release back to the chair. Another option, if the full sit to stand is not something that works ideally for you, in order to access the glutes, which is really one of the main things we're trying to accomplish with the sit to stand, you can tip at the hip and just sort of press the hips back, keeping the knees soft until you feel that little engagement through the glutes, through the hamstrings, and then you can push the heels into the ground to come back up. So either of those two activities are an optional activity while I do the following activity. So sit to stand. We'll start standing. I want you to back up until you can feel the chair against the back of your legs. That tells your brain, I know it's safe for me to sit down. I know the chair is there. I don't have to see it. I can feel it. All right, now we're going to soften the knees. We're going to push the hips back and down, and we're going to slowly reach back for the chair. Try to sit down feather light. All right, imagine a nest of freshly laid eggs, and we want to hatch those chicks. Push the heels into the ground and slowly rise, which engages your whole posterior from the glutes downward. All right, and we'll go slow down, quick up to begin, and then we'll reverse. So take it down, 3, 2, 1, quickly rise. 3, 2, 1, quickly rise. Feather light, remember, gentle, gentle, release and rise. One more time, 3, 2, and power to the top. Now let's reverse. Quick sit, still gentle, lift slow, 3, 2, 1. Quickly. Notice how quick doesn't mean you slam into the seat. Quick but light, you're in control. 3, 2, 1. One more time, quick, and 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Let us stay standing for a moment, and we're going to use this opportunity to work some balance. Now, I'm going to move my chair just to the side. And you might choose to, depending on your space, move your chair off to one side so we can work one way, and then we'll move the chair to the other. But starting with balance, heels underneath the hips, soften your knees, lift through the chest. All right, so standing nice and tall, I want you to take a moment here to shift your weight into one foot and then shift your weight into the other foot. Now, if you're still in your seat and standing is not something that works for you, same idea, but I want you to put more pressure into one foot and then more pressure into the other foot, okay? So there's more than one way we can do this. I want you to make it work for you where you're at in your space. All right, so shifting side to side. Now we know what it feels like to have all our weight on one leg. Let's try to make it even. So now our weight is equally divided between both feet. And we were probably doing that activity with our eyes open. Let's try now closing our eyes and again, shifting our weight from one foot to the other. And it might be a little more challenging with your eyes closed. We lose that proprioceptive quality of our vision that helps us figure out where we're at in space. Now even out the weight and go ahead and open up your eyes again. Same idea, but now let's shift our weight a little bit forward into the balls of the feet and then shift your weight a little bit back into the heels. And again, shifting the weight into the balls of the feet. Feel your toes grip the ground when you do that. Shift your weight into the heels. And now try to make it even between the front of the foot and the back of the foot. So now we're even side to side, we're even front to back. Now, let's deliberately shift our weight into the balls of the feet and slowly start to lift the heels, only going as high as you can go and maintaining your stability. So we don't want a lot of wobble in the ankles. Go ahead and release. And that might mean we don't lift very high. That's okay. Go ahead and lift the balls of the feet, resting on our ankles. Try to balance here on the ankles and release. Let's lift our arms overhead. This time, shift the weight into the balls of the feet, lift those heels, and we're going to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Feel how the toes really grip into the floor when we do that. Go ahead and shift back into the heels. Try to lift the balls of the feet. We're going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and release those arms back down. So now let's rise onto the balls of the feet and let's take little steps. Little steps in place, shifting our weight foot to foot. And release. Now go ahead and lift the balls of the feet and let's shift our weight side to side on our heels. Lots of stuff to work on here, strengthening through the ankles and relax the feet down. When we strengthen our ankles, it in turn helps us with our balance. All right, and now we're going to train some of our fast twitch, kind of reactive muscles. And so what I'd like you to do is we're going to go slow. We're going to practice this first slowly. Take a foot forward, toe ball heel down, shift your weight into that foot, and then come back. So right now we're still doing the slow twitch muscle fibers. Step forward, put all your weight into that front foot, and step back. We're going to do one more. So we're training our brain. This is brain training work. Let's do the other side. Step forward and come back. We're training to land with our joints in alignment, toe ball heel. All right, helps reduce potential for injury when this can become automatic. All right, now I want you to start to lean forward, and this is where the fast twitch muscle fibers are going to come in. Lean forward until you can't lean anymore, and you have to take that step forward. All right, so now we're reacting. We're leaning, we're a little off balance, and we're stepping. And practicing that joint alignment. Lean forward and step. All right, let's switch sides. Lean, 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 and take your step. All right, and it feels a little odd. You're deliberately trying to shift your weight off balance and deliberately trying to catch yourself. All right, so now this is where you'll want a little room side to side. Same idea, but we're going to go side to side, okay? So I want you to take a step out, place all your weight on this leg, and come back. Nice and gentle, thinking about that toe ball heel landing, and then press back. Let's do the other side. Toe ball heel, and come back. All your weight onto this leg, and then shift back. One more time. All right, so again, fast twitch muscle fibers. Start to lean and catch. And you'll feel that movement. Imitate what we did slower, and now we're doing more reaction. Fast twitch muscle fibers. All right, let's go the other direction. Lean, 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 and step out. And we're training our brain to do this automatically. All right, one last direction. What about the backward step? Have you ever had anyone shove something at you and say, here, hold this, and it kind of took you a little bit of back, and you had to shift your weight? So that's kind of the premise here. Go ahead and take that step back. Shift your weight onto that back leg and come to the front. Shift your weight. So we want to prepare for the surprise so we know how to respond. Let's go the other direction. Shift your weight fully. Allow that leg to accept your weight. Let it feel its strength, and then push back up. Use that back leg to push you back into position. All right, A little faster, leaning back and catch. All right. And again, lean and catch. One more on this side, lean and catch. Let's go the other direction. Lean and catch. Whew. Lean, lean, lean and catch. And one more time. Lean, lean, lean and catch. All right, we're going to do a little bit of standing leg strengthening work. The first leg we'll work is this side away from the chair. So I've scooched the chair to the side. You can use your chair to hang on to for additional support, or you can try to challenge your balance and not hang on to the chair. First thing we're going to do is take our leg to the front, point the toe, lift through the chest, pull the belly in. The key is to make sure we're nice and tall and straight, all right, and make our abdominals do some of the work. Go ahead and lift the leg, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring the foot in and out to the side. Rotate the femur a little bit inward, all right, so we can get to our abductors. Point your toe, lift, 8, 7, 6, 5, and it's okay to hang on to the chair, 2, and now turn and face your chair, point the toe back, lengthen the leg, and now we're going to squeeze the bum. Lift, 8, 7, little squeezes, 4, 3, 2, and good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. And I'm moving my water bottle out of the way because I will be the one who knocks it down always. All right, point the toe, lift the chest, brace through the belly, lift the leg, 8, 7, 6, working the muscles around the hips, 4, 3, 2, and same leg, rotate inward, extend to the side, get our abductors, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and face the chair, extend your toe out behind you, squeeze the bum every time you lift, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and woo. Go ahead and work out any kinks, and it is time to sit back down. Woo. So we did quite a bit of work standing there for a chair class, but working balance is important, and there's ways to do it by pushing that pressure into the feet. If you're doing this as a video, you can always fast forward through that section if it doesn't work for you today. Reevaluate day to day. All right, next, let's go ahead and do some seated, stationary abdominal work. All right, so we're going to think of our abs as a sponge, and sponges expand and fill and contract and release the fluid, yes? So right now, just relax. Our abdominals are nice and big and moist. We've got lots of moisture in there, kind of like a drippy sponge. All right, and we're going to do 3 different levels of squeezing. So let's talk about level 1. Let's draw the belly button in just a little bit, engaging with the abs just a little. We're squeezing the sponge so it's still really heavy, but it no longer is dripping, okay? Now let's do level 2. We're going to draw the belly in just a little bit more, closer to the spine. We're going to squeeze more water out of the sponge, but there's still some in there. Now, I want to note this. At level 2, you may start to feel your sides, your low back. We're engaging the core. It's not just abdominals. Okay, now we're going to squeeze all the water out of that sponge, draw the belly button in really tight to the spine. I want you to breathe. You can hold the squeeze and still breathe because the 2 things are not necessarily connected. Go ahead and relax those abdominals. So now we're going to pull them in and out to different rhythms. We're going to go all the way in and all the way out each time, but it'll be to different rhythms. First rhythm will be 3 and 1, slow and quick. Begin. 3, 2, really squeeze and release. 3, 2, squeeze and release. 3, 2, tight and release. One more. 3, 2, squeeze. Now let's reverse. In all the way, quick. Release slow. 3, 2, 1. Quick. 3, 2, 1. Two more. Quick. 3, 2, 1. One more. Quick. 3, 2, 1. Now let's just be very even. Let's draw in 2, 1, and release 1, 2. Again, draw in, and release. 2 more times. In, and release. 1 more time. In, and release. Good. So now I want to use a different analogy. We are going to shrink wrap our organs. And we're going to do this first with a nice big bubble. We're going to expand the bubble. Inhale. And as we exhale, pull the belly in and shrink wrap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we've got things sucked in nice and tight along our insides. I want you to hold that. You're still breathing though. You don't have to hold your breath. We're going to do 3 additional little tiny breaths in and out quickly. And every time we exhale, we tighten more. So take a deep breath, or not such a deep breath, but a breath in. Exhale, a little tighter. Inhale, exhale, a little tighter. Inhale, exhale, a little tighter, and then relax. Release your tension. We're going to do that idea one more time, okay? Inhale and exhale. Shrink wrap those organs. 3 additional little breaths, in and out, in and out, in and out, and relax and release. Whew. All right, try to relax and release tension. Let's once again tuck the tailbone around the shoulders and pull back. So it's time to wrap things up. We're going to do some final stretches. And hopefully this leaves you feeling good. All right, so sitting nice and tall, pulling away from the chair back, extend a leg in front, lift through the chest and tip a little at the hip. Go ahead and reach down for your shins, maybe your toes. We're stretching out the hamstrings, the back of the leg, and just relax into it. And then release, keep your knee bent, and we're going to press our heel into the floor. Another PNF opportunity. Try to engage all the muscles along the back of the leg and squeeze. 3, 2, 1. And relax the tension. Re-lengthen the leg, lift the chest, and tip at the hips. See if you think that you are able to go deeper into your stretching at all. And one more time, bend the knee a little bit, pressing that heel into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Relax the muscle, lengthen the leg, lift the chest, and tip at the hip. All right, let's go ahead and sit up tall and let's switch sides. Extend the leg, lift through the chest, tip at the hip, and reach. Shins or toes. Sitting up tall, bending the knee, pressing the heel into the floor, squeeze. 3, 2, engage along the back of the leg, and relax. And release, lift through the chest, tip at the hip. Just breathe into it, try to relax where you feel tension. And one more time, sitting up tall, bending the knee a little, pressing the heel into the floor, engage the back of the leg. 3, 2, 1. And relax and release your tension, lift through the chest, tip at the hip. All right, go ahead and sit up tall. So we're going to stretch out our IT band. There's a couple different options for you. If you prefer standing, you're welcome to come next to your chair. You'll take your leg furthest away from the chair, behind the front foot here. And then that arm will come up and over, and you can use the chair for support. You'll press the hip out, you'll get into your IT band. Seated, we bend at the knee and we do that floor stretch. Now, take a moment to try to work out where you feel the tension. See if you can relax and release, and then hinge forward. And then again, you might hinge forward a little bit, and then you might have to move around a little bit more, relax and release a little bit more, and then I think you'll find you'll be able to go even deeper. We usually have 2 or 3 of those in us, where we just relax and then we can go deeper. All right, let's switch sides. So if you're standing, you go to the other side of your chair. Remember, it's the outside leg that wraps around behind. All right, and again, crossing over, ankle over knee. Try to relax and release tension through the hip and through the knee, and then hinge forward. As you feel tension, feel free to move through it a little bit. Try to relax and release when you can, and then hinge even more. And this is a stretch where I really notice a difference between my sides. One side, I'm much more limber than the other. This is my real stiff side. Go ahead and release. And I say that to acknowledge that we have those imbalances again. So it's okay if one side just doesn't feel like you can do what you can do on the other side. Go ahead and open those arms nice and wide. Let's cross the arms. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Tuck the tailbone around the shoulders, looking down towards your lap. Sit up tall, open the arms. Let's go the other way. Cross the shoulders, round forward. Sit up tall, open up the chest, reach behind you to the chair, and press your chest forward, pulling your shoulder blades back. Let's go ahead and bring the arms forward, thumbs down, cross and round those shoulders, tuck the tailbone. As you're reaching forward, see if we can lift one shoulder a little bit, and that second shoulder a little bit. Come to the center, sit up tall, stack your spine, open the chest, thumbs point to the back right here. You are ready to take on the rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time,